Hold up, Browns Nation. What I'm about to tell you might just blow your mind and completely change how you think about our franchise's future. While everyone's been arguing about Deshaun Watson and whether we made the right call, there's a quarterback down in South Carolina who's quietly becoming the most talked about prospect since Andrew Luck. His name is LaNorris Sellers, and some of the smartest minds in football are already projecting him as a potential number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. But here's the kicker. Mock drafts are already linking him to Cleveland with the 2nd overall pick, and after what I've discovered about this kid, I'm starting to believe this could be the answer to our prayers we've been waiting for. Listen, I've been covering the Browns for years, and I've seen us chase quarterbacks like we're hunting for buried treasure. Baker gave us hope before it all fell apart. Watson came with a massive contract and even bigger expectations, but now he's recovering from an Achilles injury, and the future feels murky. Dorian Thompson-Robinson showed flashes, but hasn't seized the moment. We've added Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders to the mix, but let's be honest, none of these guys have screamed franchise quarterback the way we need them to. That's exactly why LaNorris Sellers should have every Browns fan's attention right now. This isn't some late-round developmental project, or maybe he can do it situation. We're talking about a 6 feet 3 inches, 240-pound specimen who moves like he's 20 pounds lighter and throws the ball like he's got cannons for arms. Luke Easterling from Athlon Sports has him going to Cleveland with the 2nd pick in his early 2026 mock draft, and ESPN's Field Yates is projecting teams might trade up just to get him. When you have multiple respected analysts independently coming to the same conclusion, that's not coincidence, that's recognition of elite talent. But what makes Sellers special isn't just his impressive measurables. In 2024, he threw for over 2,500 yards with 18 touchdowns and only 7 interceptions across 12 games. Those numbers tell you he's accurate and smart with the football. But then he drops another bomb on you, 674 rushing yards and 7 rushing touchdowns. We're talking about a legitimate dual-threat quarterback who can beat you with his arm and absolutely destroy you with his legs. Remember how electric Josh Allen looked when he first started making those impossible escapes and turning broken plays into touchdowns? That's exactly what scouts are seeing when they watch Sellers' film. The comparisons to Allen aren't just about athleticism, though. Draft analyst Dane Brugler points out that Sellers isn't some one-dimensional athlete playing quarterback. This kid reads defenses, shows genuine pocket presence, and makes smart decisions under pressure. His football IQ is legitimate, and his composure in clutch moments is exactly what you want to see from a future franchise player. What really gets me excited is that he's still developing his passing skills, which means his ceiling is absolutely through the roof. Think about this for a second. We're potentially looking at a quarterback who already has elite physical tools, legitimate dual-threat ability, and high football intelligence, and he's still getting better as a passer. That trajectory is exactly what transforms good college quarterbacks into NFL superstars. Brugler specifically mentions that if Sellers continues improving his pass protection reads and decision-making, he could easily end up as the top pick in the entire draft. Now here's where it gets really interesting for us Browns fans. Cleveland has been stuck in quarterback purgatory for what feels like forever. We've thrown massive contracts at established veterans, used high draft picks on young prospects, and signed every available free agent who could potentially help. But we still haven't found our guy, that franchise-defining quarterback who can lead us back to championship contention. Sellers represents something different. He's not a desperation move or maybe this will work gamble. He's a genuine franchise cornerstone prospect with the tools to transform our entire organization. Picture this scenario. The Browns, with their incredible defense, passionate fanbase, and rich history, landing a quarterback who combines Cam Newton's athleticism with Josh Allen's arm talent and the decision-making skills to match. Sellers has shown steady improvement from his sophomore to junior year, with better accuracy, higher completion percentages, and more efficient decision-making. That's exactly the kind of developmental curve you want to see from a future star. If you're enjoying this breakdown and want Browns Breakout to keep bringing you the most insightful analysis and breaking news about our team, smash that like button right now. It genuinely helps the algorithm show our content to more Browns fans who are hungry for this kind of deep dive analysis. Your support means everything, and it takes literally 2 seconds to help us grow this community. What makes Sellers even more compelling is his clutch factor. This isn't a quarterback who wilts under pressure or makes costly mistakes when the game's on the line. His best moments come when everything's falling apart around him, scrambling away from pass rushers, extending plays that should be dead, and finding ways to make something out of nothing. Those are the qualities that separate good quarterbacks from great ones, and they're impossible to teach. The timing could actually work out perfectly for Cleveland. Watson's situation remains complicated, and our other quarterback options haven't established themselves as long-term answers. If Sellers continues his upward trajectory throughout the 2025 college season, he could enter the draft as a consensus top 3 pick. That means we'd potentially have a shot at landing a generational talent at the most important position in football. Here's what really gets me fired up about this possibility. Sellers isn't just talented, he's exactly the kind of quarterback who thrives in our offensive system. He can make plays from the pocket when protection holds up, but he can also create magic when everything breaks down. His arm strength allows him to make every throw on the field, and his mobility gives offensive coordinators incredible flexibility in game planning. Draft experts are already comparing his ceiling to some of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL today. When Field Yates mentions that Sellers shows shades of Josh Allen's play style, that's not casual analysis, that's recognition of elite-level potential. Allen transformed the Buffalo Bills from perpetual disappointments into championship contenders almost single-handedly. That's exactly the kind of impact we need in Cleveland. The best part, Sellers is still developing. His completion percentage improved throughout last season, and his decision-making became noticeably better in the second half of games. That tells you he's coachable, adaptable, and capable of learning from mistakes in real time. Those are exactly the qualities that predict NFL success. Obviously, drafting any quarterback in the top 5 is a massive gamble. The NFL is littered with highly touted prospects who never lived up to their potential. But Sellers has that rare combination of physical gifts, mental toughness, and competitive drive that separates future stars from cautionary tales. His trajectory suggests he's only going to get better, and his ceiling is legitimately limitless. For Browns fans who've been through decades of quarterback disappointment, Sellers represents something we haven't had in a long time: genuine hope backed by elite talent. This isn't wishful thinking or desperation talking. This is recognition that sometimes the perfect player comes along at exactly the right time for the right team. So keep your eyes on LaNorris Sellers throughout this college season. Watch how he handles pressure, how he continues developing as a passer, and how he performs in the biggest moments. Because if everything aligns the way it could, we might be looking at the future face of the Cleveland Browns and the quarterback who finally leads us back to championship glory. The story of LaNorris Sellers is just beginning, but it could very well be the beginning of a new chapter in Browns history that we've all been waiting for.